I'm sure some of you are wondering why I'm not doing special Christmas devotions, but I don't know of anything that would be more appropriate for Christmas than to be right where we are in the book of Ephesians, looking at walking worthy of the one who came for us, came in the form of a baby and then gave his life for us so that we might be free from the burden and the consequences of sin. And so I'm going to continue until next week, walking worthy, or at least in Galatians and wrapping up Galatians, because I don't know of anything that would be better for the Christmas season than to look at this, book of Ephesians, than to look at the book of Ephesians and walking worthy. We looked yesterday at walking worthy, and today I want to continue that subject with Ephesians 5, beginning at verse 1. Therefore be imitators of God as beloved children. Walk in love, just as Christ also loved you and gave himself up for us, an offering and a sacrifice to God as a fragrant aroma. Now, that certainly points us back to the Old Testament, when the incense and the burning of incense was the prayers of the saints going up as a fragrant aroma. When Noah got out of the ark, the fragrance of his sacrifices raised up to God. And we need to be sure that as we're walking worthy in love, that we remember the great sacrifice of love that he made for us. And he goes on and he says, but immorality and impurity and greed must never even be named among us, as is proper to saints. And there be no filthiness or silly talk or coarse jesting, which are not fitting, but rather giving thanks. So we're to walk worthy by loving one another, by not living impure lives. We're to walk worthy by making sure that our talk is edifying and not filthy and silly or jesting. And then he goes on in verse 15 and he continues and says, therefore be careful how you walk, not as unwise men, but as wise, making the most of your time. I want to stop there just for a minute. How do you spend your time? Do you spend more time on your electronic devices than you do in Bible study and prayer? Do you spend more time on your electronic devices than you do in going to church? Therefore, be careful how you walk, not as unwise, but as wise, making the most of your time, because the days are evil. So then, do not be foolish, but understand what the will of the Lord is. And do not get drunk with wine. That's a good thing right around Christmas time to remind people of that. Be filled with the Spirit, speaking to one another in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing and making melody in your hearts to the Lord. And I certainly like some of the tunes like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, but listen, this is a wonderful time to be singing spiritual songs. O Holy Night, It Came Upon a Midnight Clear. We can sing some of the fun songs too, but let's not leave out those spiritual songs that have great messages in them. Making the most of our time and singing those songs, melody in our hearts, giving thanks for all things in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ to God, even the Father. Be subject to one another and the fear of Christ. Being subject to one another and the fear of Christ. Well, that's my thought for the day. I hope that as you approach Christmas, you'll think about making the most of your time and evaluating how you spend your time. And give the Lord a little bit more of your time. He wants to meet with you. And that's my thought for the day. God bless you and have a great day.